This is some dialogue from a dystopian L'Oreal advert that I'm writing right now. Dystopian L'Oreal advert. Mum, why did that man give you a cheque for £17.65? Because you're worth it. I saw a sign on the road on the way here. It said, "Keep 2 chevrons apart." I think if 2 chevrons want to be together, who are the government to intervene? So the Royal Navy do this thing where if a ship sinks, they just make a new one with the same name so they can pretend like it never happened. So for example, there have been like several HMS Endurances, which I thought was ironic, but most of them were made out of wood. My dad took a similar approach with my hamsters. When my hamster Billy tragically died, he replaced him with an ex-Soviet aircraft carrier. So that really confused the religion of my remaining hamsters. Because it was a bit like, all right, I figured it out. If you're a good hamster, you come back as 1,000,000 tons of ex-Soviet steel. Fuck, a talking hamster. So people say to me, how can you spend most of your weekend preparing for an apocalypse that has been promised for 2,000 years and isn't coming? And I say, Jesus is coming back, he's just stuck at immigration. They tell him that it's because he can't have a second coming on a single entry visa, but actually, if you think about it, he is Middle Eastern, bearded and religious. A woman in the street stopped me once and talked to me about Jesus, and I was interested. He's a very interesting guy, by all accounts. If he ever becomes an atheist, he becomes an orphan. Things are a lot lower stakes in my family. My dad says he doesn't believe in me all the time. I have had other conversations with my dad. This is from when I was quite small. Dad, I don't want to spend 3 hours imagining how the hero of my novel would react to complex situations. Shut up, son, it's character building. The other chief thing my dad did for me was he bought me a telescope instead of a teddy bear, which made for a bit of a different bedtime experience. Went a bit like this. Hey telescope, what you looking at? A supernova, Tom. That's cool. Do you think I'll ever see one up close? You'd be instantly killed by the radiation, Tom. Oh, good night, telescope. It's always night in space, Tom. So people tell me that the telescope bit isn't really relatable. Don't you just hate it when you point your telescope at the Milky Way for a long exposure photograph and realise 3 hours later that you've left the lens cap on? Anyone? No, sorry, that was just my attempt at observational comedy.